Chaos has consumed Cleveland. Just hours before kickoff, head coach Kevin Stefanski made a decision that blindsided everyone. Rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, his teammates, the fans, and even the league itself. Without warning, Sanders was benched. Joe Flacco got the start. The Browns lost. And now, the entire organization is spiraling into crisis. Viewership plummeted, social media exploded, locker room trust has been shattered, ownership is furious, and trade rumors are already heating up. What just happened in Cleveland isn't just a football story. It's a full-blown, league-wide controversy. This is the Shedeur Sanders benching scandal, and it could change everything. The decision came out of nowhere. Hours before kickoff, Stefanski called Sanders into his office. No warning, no explanation, just 2 words. You're benched. For Shedeur, a rookie phenom, a player the Browns had staked their future on, this wasn't just surprising, it was humiliating. His teammates were stunned. Social media erupted. And by the time Joe Flacco jogged onto the field, the damage had already been done. The Browns weren't just facing their opponent, they were facing chaos from within. Reports from inside the locker room suggest players were blindsided as much as Sanders was. Wide receivers expected their chemistry with Shedeur to be the offensive key. The offensive line had trained all week for his cadence. And then suddenly, everything changed. The trust between coach and locker room, broken. The morale, gone. The message, unclear. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another rookie. He's a headline. The son of NFL legend Deion Primetime Sanders. The breakout star at Colorado, who brought national attention back to a struggling college program. His move to the NFL was one of the most anticipated debuts in years. For Cleveland, drafting Sanders was supposed to be the turning point. A new era. Finally, a quarterback who could restore hope to a franchise that has known more heartbreak than triumph. Fans bought jerseys in record numbers. Ratings spiked. The Browns were suddenly relevant again. And now, that promise is unraveling before our very eyes. The fallout from Stefanski's decision was immediate. The Browns lost. Joe Flacco, a veteran with Super Bowl experience, couldn't spark the offense. The crowd turned hostile. Fans booed, not just at the loss, but at the betrayal. TV viewership plummeted, millions tuning out in frustration. Social media went nuclear. Hashtags like #FreeShedeur and #StefanskiOut trended nationwide. Prominent analysts called it the worst coaching decision of the year. Former players ripped the organization, calling it dysfunctional, short-sighted, and toxic. And perhaps worst of all, the locker room itself is fractured. Reports suggest some players openly question Stefanski in post-game meetings. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. Ownership is livid. For the Haslams, who poured millions into rebuilding this franchise, Shedeur Sanders wasn't just a draft pick. He was a business investment. Ticket sales, jersey revenue, sponsorships, all tied to Sanders. Benching him without warning, without communication, wasn't just a football move. It was financial sabotage. Rumors from inside Berea suggest that ownership confronted Stefanski after the game. Questions flew, demands for answers, and whispers began. If this season unravels, Stefanski could be gone. His seat isn't hot, it's on fire. But the chaos doesn't stop in Cleveland. The NFL itself is under pressure. Shedeur Sanders is one of the league's most marketable young stars. His benching doesn't just hurt the Browns. It hurts ratings, sponsorships, and storylines league-wide. The league thrives on stars. And right now, one of its brightest is stuck on the sideline. Sports networks are calling it a disaster. Fans across the country are outraged. And the NFL knows when the trust of the audience starts to crack, the fallout can be massive. And so the rumors begin. Could Sanders be traded? The thought seemed unthinkable just weeks ago. But now, insiders are whispering. Teams hungry for a young star quarterback are circling. Imagine Sanders in Atlanta, reuniting with a fan base that idolized his father. Imagine Sanders in Las Vegas, bringing primetime energy to a city built on spectacle. For Cleveland, trading Sanders would be admitting failure. But with ownership furious, the locker room fractured, and fans in revolt, it may be the only path forward. Kevin Stefanski's future is in jeopardy. Once hailed as the coach who could steady Cleveland, his decision has ignited a firestorm. Was it a power move to humble the rookie? Was it fear that Sanders wasn't ready? Or was it desperation, clinging to Joe Flacco as a safety net? Whatever the reason, the gamble failed. And in the NFL, failures of this magnitude rarely go unpunished. Unless Stefanski can repair the locker room, regain ownership's trust, and win back the fans, his days in Cleveland may be numbered. After the game, Sanders addressed reporters. His words were calm, but the pain was clear. "I just want to play football. I want to win with my teammates. That's all." Behind those words, though, was the sting of betrayal. The young star who carried the hopes of a franchise, benched without warning, left to watch in silence. Fans rallied behind him. Teammates supported him publicly. And suddenly, this wasn't just about a quarterback. It was about loyalty, respect, and the future of the Browns. So what happens next? Will Sanders be reinstated as the starter? Will Stefanski survive the season? Will ownership pull the trigger on a blockbuster trade? The Browns are now at a crossroads. One path leads to redemption, a rally behind their rookie, a united team, a chance to salvage the season. The other leads to implosion, fractured trust, spiraling losses, and a legacy of dysfunction. The decision Cleveland makes in the next few weeks won't just define their season. It could define their franchise for decades. In the NFL, every decision carries weight. Every play, every choice, every word spoken behind closed doors can shape the future. For Cleveland, one shocking decision has unleashed chaos. Shedeur Sanders was benched. The Browns lost. And now, the ripple effects are being felt across the entire league. This is more than a controversy. It's a crisis. And it's only just beginning. What do you think? Was Stefanski right to bench Sanders? Or has he doomed his own career? And if you're the Browns ownership, do you stick with your coach or your star quarterback? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest stories shaking the sports world.